This is the turn. We've got a lot to cover today. I know I'm a little late on the US Open recap, but trust me, it's worth it. And we are adding the Travelers Championship on top because that finish was too good to skip. 2 tournaments, 2 heartbreaks for Scottie Scheffler, and one very clear storyline heading into the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale in 2 weeks. Let's get into it. Shinnecock Hills, June 18th through the 21st. And the story actually starts on Thursday and the fog. For those that watch the game, round 1 was delayed roughly 2 hours due to heavy morning fog, which left the course softer than expected for the afternoon wave. And you know what? Sometimes when things happen, you gotta take advantage. Wyndham Clark got the afternoon draw, took full advantage, and posted a 6 under 64, which was the round of the tournament. He led by 4 after day 1. He followed that rounds with 69 and 70. That was his round 2 and 3 score. His 54-hole lead of 7 under 203 was the lowest ever recorded at Shinnecock Hills. His short lead into Sunday was the 4th largest 54-hole cushion in US Open history. He had a 6-hole lead. The question wasn't whether Clark would win. It was whether the greatest collapse in US Open history was about to unfold. He almost did. On Sunday, Clark started with a short lead, but he woke up with a pit in his stomach, and it showed. He bogeyed holes 1, 2, and 5. By that turn, the short lead was down to 1 over. Sam Burns was close second at the time. He had gone nuclear with 4 birdies on the front 9, including a 49-footer at the 8th hole. For a while, this felt like the Greg Norman 1996 Masters moment of 2026. Because Greg Norman was the only player ever to blow a short lead in a major. That is not fun. When you have a lead in a major, your intention is to close out. But sometimes life happens. And Norman was that player in the 1996 Masters. Clark was on the edge of joining that list, but the back 9 changed everything. Clark hit a 347-yard drive on the short par 4. That was on the 10th hole, par 4. He spun a wedge to 4 feet and made his first birdie of the day. Burns bogeyed the 15th, trying to catch him, and then came the shot of the tournament. Hole 16, par 5. Clark's lead was down to 1. Think about it. He had a short lead. Now down to 1. You can imagine the nerve and what was going through his mind. He still shot into the deep native, that one fescue down the left. Horrible lie. The crowd was willing it to stay buried. He blasted out, hit his 3rd to 24.5 feet, and drained it. Birdie. No one expected that. 2 short lead with 2 to play. That was the tournament. Sam Bogan, he making a birdie. That, in my opinion, changed everything. He 3-putted 17 from 69 feet to give one back. Then pushed his drive on 18 into the first cut of rough. Found the green about 52 feet away and 2-putted for the par that seeded. Burns missed birdie on 17 and 18. Dropped to his knees after the final putt, slid off the right edge. Final score, Clark 4 under, Burns 1 back. Wire to wire. The 9th player in US Open history to do it. The first since Martin Kaymer at Pinehurst in 2014. That was the tournament, in a nutshell. But let's talk about what happened on Sunday. The atmosphere on Sunday was unlike anything you normally see at a major on American soil. From the first tee, the New York crowd was in full anybody but Wyndham mode. It was like Wyndham against everybody. They sang happy birthday to Scheffler, who turned 30 on Sunday, which was also Father's Day, on the first tee. Cheered when Clark's shot went into bunkers, yelled, "Get in the first queue," while the ball was in the air. Multiple fans were ejected by police for heckling him directly. It was mentioned on the NBC broadcast. Brandon Chambly called it the worst treatment he'd ever seen of an American player on American soil. That was how bad things were. Clark brought some of it on himself. He threw his driver into a sponsor sign at the 2025 PGA Championship, then destroyed a locker at Oakmont after missing the cut at last year's US Open. Oakmont reportedly banned him. He spent the past year apologizing and working on his head and his game. And Sunday, none of it cracked him. He and his caddy, David, had agreed before the round to treat every crowd cheer for Scheffler as a cheer for him. After the win, he addressed the crowd, acknowledged the past. He was still sorry. He understood they were rooting for Scheffler and the Grand Slam. But today was his day. That's a two-time major champion who knows exactly who he is right now. We're going to spend some time talking about Scottie. I spent most of episode 6 building up Scheffler's Grand Slam bid. His 30th birthday on the final Sunday felt like a destiny, but the Grand Slam we have to wait. Scheffler bogeyed the first hole and never gathered momentum. He shot a 1 over 71 on Sunday, finishing tied for 4th at even par for the week, alongside Keith Mitchell and JT Poston. Only 2 birdies, never closer than 3 shots to Clark. The Open Championship at Royal Birkdale is now the next shot. The Father's Day moment, and that one belonged to Clark. His father, Randall, took a red eye from Denver Saturday night as a complete surprise. First time Randall had ever watched his son win on tour in person. On Father's Day, they embraced behind the 18th green. Clark said it wasn't just his win. That's a pretty good story. Even for a guy, the crowd was booing 6 hours earlier. Congrats, Clark. That was a moment to behold. Watching his father there at the 18th hole, witnessing his win. That was a moment. That was really good. Now, let's talk about some rest of the leaderboard. Quick hit. Sam Burns finished second at 3 under after a Sunday 67, his best major finish ever, and his 3rd consecutive US Open top 10. He was also the 54-hole leader at last year's US Open at Oakmont before a final round collapse. He's a real major contender going forward. Tom Kim finished 3rd at 1 under. He had fallen to 141st in the world rankings and had to qualify for this event. 3-time PGA Tour winner who played all 4 rounds in the red at Shinnecock, a course that only let 3 players finish under par for the week. Keith Mitchell, JT Poston, they tied Scheffler for 4th at even par. Mitchell became the first player in US Open history to shoot 4 consecutive rounds of exactly even par 70. And Rory McIlroy, he opened with a 69, briefly in contention, and then said it himself. The wheels came off. After back-to-back Masters titles, Shinnecock didn't cooperate. How about what happened this past weekend? The Travelers Championship. That was another near miss for Scheffler. TPC River Highlands, Cromwell, Connecticut. The last signature event of the 2026 PGA Tour season. $20 million purse, and another chapter in his Scottie Scheffler story. He came in off the US Open Heartbreak, saying it felt like he was on the outside looking this year. He came out Thursday firing alongside his close friend, Sam Burns. And on Friday, he posted the round of the week, a 60. He was very much in this. Victor Hovland was right there all week. The two of them pulled away from the field by Saturday. Hovland made a two-shot swing on the 18th hole Saturday, birdied while Scheffler bogeyed to take a one-stroke lead into the final round. Then came the weather. Sunday's final round was suspended at 5:57 p.m. ET due to lightning, a 30-minute delay. By the time play resumed at 7:20 p.m., there wasn't enough daylight to finish. Colin Morikawa had already come in with a stunning final round 61 to set the clubhouse target at 20 under. Scheffler made a critical 8-foot putt on 18 in near darkness to finish at 21 under and force a playoff with Hovland. They had to come back Monday morning to finish the round. If you look at the way the round unfolded, Scottie had to make par over par to stay in the game. Hovland had a chance to pull away, what didn't happen. At the 18th, Scheffler had a chance to make his birdie and win the tournament. Very near miss. It was a very close part. Scheffler had to make that gutsy part to force a playoff, which I thought that was cool. But Monday morning didn't go Scheffler's way. Sudden death, par 4, 18th hole. Both players stripped it down the middle. Both hit their approaches inside 6 feet. Hovland to 6 feet. Scheffler to inside 4 feet. Hovland made his 7-footer. Scheffler missed his, burning the left edge. I hit it on my line. That's what he said. It was just a little firm. Victor Hovland wins his 8th PGA Tour title. His first win in 15 months. He deserved one. But the story is once again Scheffler. He's now 0 for 2 in playoff this season. 4 runner-up finishes since the January win at the American Express. And there is the wild part. He has made 35 consecutive top 25 finishes. The second longest streak in the last 40 years, behind only Tiger Woods. The best player in the world can't buy a victory right now. He can't buy one. And the calendar just handed him the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale at his next start. Scheffler can get a win. If I look at every player on tour, I felt Scheffler has been very consistent all year round. He's been consistent, to be fair. But he can't get a win. That's the challenge. That kind of tells everyone how tough it is to dominate the PGA Tour. The last few years has been Scheffler. He's dominated the PGA Tour. He's getting the win over wins. But this year, I've not been good. Well, for a regular player, this is a great year. He won it on PGA Tour. He's finished second a few times. He's consistent, across the board. But the Scheffler we know is known to winning almost very frequently. It doesn't take this long for Scheffler to win a title, to win something. But now it's been a while since January. Now that's your double header recap: the 2026 US Open and the Travelers Championship. 2 tournaments, 2 second place finishes for Scottie Scheffler, and 1 massive major on the horizon. Scheffler heads to Royal Birkdale as the defending Open champion. He won on Royal Portrush last year by 4 shots. He goes there with 1 win in 2026, 4 runner-ups, and a Grand Slam that's still 1 leg away. If there was ever a stage bid for him to get his game back and make history, it's Royal Birkdale, July 16th through the 19th. I'm going to be back with the Open Championship preview. Will Scheffler do it? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how things unfold before then. Until then, this has been The Turn. Thanks for watching.